Div stream. Got us a div stream here. Gonna set us up one of them div streams. For anyone curious about the task that is currently listed, which is not actually today's task, for anybody curious about the download stream Safari nonsense, it had nothing to do with download stream, which was working perfectly. It didn't quite have to do with Safari. It was actually that FFmpeg is not resilient against running out of RAM, specifically while writing to a file. Almost any other time, it's adequately resilient to running out of RAM. Not there. Okay, so this is going to have to be a fairly significant change because I'm in same origin hell. So what I need is several things. First of all, I need for this not to even bother with the intermediate window because it can't communicate properly regardless. Yeah, this is just waiting for this key, which I had to do because of same origin hell anyway. So I think what I'm going to have to do, yeah, all this is doing is telling it go to this URL. So there's like no reason. Let me just verify that that's actually exactly as stupid as I know it is. So that's sending auth URL. Yeah, literally it just redirected. So why didn't I just open to that URL in the first place? No clue what my brain was doing there. That is proper weird. So I'm actually going to take out this block entirely, because like the inability to communicate with the window is the problem. But also, I don't need to communicate with the window. There's no messages. All the messages are gone. This just uses local storage. Oh, that is dumb. That is real dumb. So, in addition to that, I would like to make it possible to provide your own window open. Now, I said I was going to give it the same arguments, so better know what those arguments are. The arguments are very dumb. Yeah, there's URL, target, and features. URL, target, features, and I just want a promise of void. I'm not going to actually use the result. My 80-character obsession. No, look at me. I've made this 3 lines. Okay. So what's interesting is that this does not do the transient activation itself. So I'm going to have to change how that happens here, which was perhaps not my wisest thought. This has this has no transient activation. Yeah, this is fairly silly. I should really just be doing this in Othwin. I imagine both of these are just going to have, transient activation and then immediately Othwin. Yeah, that's that's ridiculous. But I probably do for situations like this. What was the logic behind late transient activation? And does that logic actually make any sense whatsoever? I mean, yeah. There it is. I think the only way to handle this reliably will have to be that I have optional options here. Option. Okay, so we've got like 3 different methods. If window open is set, then we're just going to await that. Let me just do this way. In this case, I am willing to do all of this nonsense with a promise and on load and blah, blah, blah. Make sure that this is always going to be a promise of void, and it's not going to try and figure some nonsense out. On error, on cloise. That's it. So then I can just if it's not set, then we're going to need transient activation. Now look at this. Look at this. This isn't the ugliest thing any human being has ever written. We no longer need to post a message because redirect URL. Redirect? Okay, redirect URL is exported. Hello, SpecLad. Rare SpecLad sighting. The URL is already a string. ALF options. It's a small capital A. Small caps. Okay, and then we're just waiting for the storage event. Good. Make it cancelable. Yes.
Interesting.
Uh, your sightings at dev streams are rare, not at normal streams. Dev stream sighting rare. Although, I mean, you know, not a lot of people watch the dev stream, so any one sighting is rare, really. Okay, this is no longer relevant. Let me just put this in a constant and then immediately return it. How about I just return it? Return await is redundant. LGTM. So now I just have to fix these to not attempt to do transient activation before off-win. That's correct, isn't it? Yes. Yep. that's today's task. The origin is hell. I don't think I need an auth win for anything else. Yeah, because the only other thing is Fuzdaha and the webdav. Everything else should be easy peasy. And I think I've accidentally made this backwards compatible. I didn't really set out to. Why you do this? Interesting. But I can't do anything about on close from here. On close is really going to have to be the job of... Damn. Okay. I do need to know when the window is closed. That's important. So I need a way... Okay. I lied about taking the same arguments as window.open. That's not going to work. Wait, on close. The whole problem was that with the same origin thing, on close is just not a thing. You just go to Google and open a window and see what happens. Thanks. Yeah, unfortunately, the the reason why that worked is not the reason I need it to be. How interesting. I have never done... I have done weird subsets of Linux from scratch, but I've never actually done Linux from scratch. I've done more building of... let me put it this way. I have built Linux from scratch, but not since there was such a thing as Linux from scratch. How's that? As not since there was an actual book. Well, quasi-book. Interesting. Age flex. So if I have a cross-origin window, I can't do a close event on it. I'm going to consider the implications of that while I have a quick bathroom break and refill my drink. So one thing that I think I do have, let me actually get my microphone to where you can hear me. One thing that I do have, but I think I don't have, is x.closed. So if I close this, it does indeed detect that. But what I mean by I think I don't have it is, are you serious? Let me do this in Chrome. Great, perfect, flawless. Let me just do a quick login in the background here. So I think that if I do the same from here, I will not have the same stuff. So I don't want to actually set this to just allow pop-ups because I need to actually be able to test that the translate activation is working. Stop. Show it. That's fine. Show it. That's fine. Okay. Oh, interesting. So the reason I thought this might not work is that I have not just I have cores, not just same origin policy, but cores on. But I guess x.closed, that's like the one thing I have. I don't have onClosed, that would be too easy. But I have .closed, so I can make my own stupid version of onClosed by polling closed. Is it the worst thing in the world? Yes. Why? Sometimes auto indent work, sometimes auto indent not work. Oh, of course, which means none of this works. Why have I forgotten how to use graphical editors? 250 mil. Okay. So first, the close handler, like down here, the close handler, once we actually have our info, which means I do need to await the info promise after all. Here, the close handler, we no longer care about closing, so we can just stub it out. But after opening the window, from this point on, you know what, it doesn't even need to be from that point on. It should actually be from before that point. If you close it early, then... If you close it early, we want this function to throw an exception. This one. I guess this is happening eagerly, isn't it? So this is actually fine. Close handler equals this. So if you close it while it's still waiting for info, then it will get angry at you. Okay, that all looks fine. Good, good. Okay. Ironically, I'm not sure if I'm even going to use the window open that I allowed to be an option here. I think I've solved it all here. But, you know, whatever. Of course. Target is always empty. So I've just... Everything I did was backwards compatible. So this should just work, question mark? Obviously, I updated some dependencies at some point. ECAT. I think this is all... Oh, well, actually, this is on the correct branch. That's a tiny surprise. Oh, I'm not even sure if I... Oh, well. And this is definitely not on the correct branch. So I think if I just install the Git version of this, that won't even work because the actual distribution isn't in Git. But if I get it here and install this version, then that should be... that might be sufficient to solve my issues. Or it won't work at all. Also a distinct possibility. I have no idea what just happened. I mean, it did work. It did not work. That happened so rapidly. It clearly did not need to do anything complicated to log in. Can I check fairly easily whether this is actually correct? Yep, this is using the correct version. So that's no kind of check for the cross-origin stuff, but it is checking something. Oh yeah, this definitely isn't going to work because I'm like in the middle of two versions here. Oh, maybe I'm not in the middle of the two versions. Maybe this should have worked. I don't see any errors there. Oh, okay. This probably just didn't include video, which would make it uninteresting for what I'm trying to test right now. So let me create a recording that does have video. I hope that recording just didn't have video, otherwise something is not up to date. What am I currently logged into? Dropbox, I see. Dropbox is doing the quick window madness. Make sure I actually do record the screen. Okay, well, record something. It doesn't have to be the screen. That is not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Make sure that this finishes. I guess I should add iCloud. Nobody will understand how to use this if it doesn't go to their iCloud. Ooh. I don't know what that means. Conflict. I'm assuming this is probably fine. Oh, that'll be to do with locking. Yeah. That'll be to do with locking. That's probably fine. Unfortunately, This did not need to pop up a window, presumably just because I was logged in so recently. And I do need to actually test it with a pop-up window, or I'm not testing it at all. So let me just twiddle my thumbs for a moment and then see if we reload, if it'll do its thing. I know that I put the iframe in a weird place because it was having issues. So it's possible that this is working and doing the right thing, but the iframe isn't actually visible, which would be not actually working in any meaningful sense. I love hunting for iframes. Oh, cool. Cool. It's 32 by 0. Very useful. Thank you. Where are you hiding, iframe? Thanks. There's another bug to be fixed. Okay, but that worked. That did log in. Okay, so setting aside the fact that I clearly still have issues just getting the damned iframe to show up in the first place, we can log in. So that, wow, I'm faintly stunned with how successful that fix was. Yeah, I'm happy to release that. I did not expect to do that in a backwards compatible way. But given that I did do that in a backwards compatible way, it's time to release. So in another screen, I'm just going to quickly build and release a version of this so that I can just bump the version rather than having some weird local installation. Thinking. It feels wrong for this to just be a 0.0.1 version change, but it is backwards compatible. I somehow did the impossible. It's backwards compatible. I realize I've said that a lot now, but I'm just faintly stunned that it actually is backwards compatible. Release 0.1.3. Go ahead and build it for NPM. I know that just watching me type things in on a different screen that you can't even see is the most exciting part of these streams. So glad to provide that content. This is still bothering me. I had to do something about that. The log depends on the UI. The UI depends on the network. This feels like the most tenuous link. I understand why the UI depends on the network, but it probably shouldn't. And the network depends on logging. I mean, everything depends on logging. It's shocking that UI doesn't directly depend on logging, but I guess I, did that intentionally is why that's the case. Well, that means I can get to the next bit of hell, which is why is this iframe giving me so many problems? Not the download processor, the download chooser. So we fetch the info and we fetch the video at the same time. The frustrating thing is we can't really move the iframe. So I think what I'm going to have to do is think really carefully. Just continue to think forever. Let me, so this is the problem. I'm blanking out the video box. What is the distinction between children and child nodes? Oh, this is really annoying. Yeah, if unfortunately the way to do this is instead of using the one cool trick to blank it out, I just need to blank it out by like going element by element. Oops, no, not video iframe. Just DL box. You know what? I can do this in either case because it'll just remove everything if it's not there. If the node is not equal to the video iframe, then DL box dot remove child. Okay. There's like other problems to deal with, but that's one of them. How about that? I don't want to use array.from because I'm an imbecile. Let's just use array.from. Why even do that? Just do that. I don't know what the hell I think I'm doing. Of mailbox dot child nodes. No need to be so picky about it. Oh, apparently I need to be so picky about it. The hell? What is this? So what's the difference between child nodes and children? Ah, yeah, I want to get rid of the text and comments and such too. Okay. Right, so this is not iterable because it's live, and I don't even want it to be live. I actually just want to go over an array, so hopefully that should be correct. Yay. That was a premature yay. The fact that it compiled doesn't mean anything. The iframe... Oh, damn it. I'm still logged in. Just... thinking. I'm just faintly surprised that the loading ... sort of moved to the side. Although, actually, I guess I don't know where... Where does loading ... actually live? It must live in... let me not have quite so many windows open. Yeah, it's in that box. So why is it that when I appended a child, loading moved? How does append child interact with text? Create element by ID. That makes sense, but I'm also unconvinced about... Yeah, given that this has, like, spans and crap in it, here's one that has nothing interesting in it. Variable. Yeah, of course it appends to the end. It's like, it's utter madness for me to have thought that it doesn't append to the end. Why would it not append to the end? Oh, that's literally what append means. Not the thing to be looking for. The thing to be looking for is creating the iframe. Yes. Okay, let's set a breakpoint right there. Hard refresh. Yeah, so what the hell? Let's do a investigation. Oh, of course, because an iframe isn't a block element. Okay, it's like, how the hell did this end up moving to the left? Okay, it's like it moved to the left and down, but it really just moved to the left, and then because this is, okay, iframes aren't block elements, how very stupid. But I know how to deal with that. Behold, it's a block element now. Something about the fact that you can do this just feels bizarre. Oh. There we go. Let me guess. It got the size weird, and there's currently a 0x0 iframe. Yeah, 32x0. Perfect. Fantastic. Exactly what I always wanted. So the problem is the way that it determines the size of the button is the best you can do. Like, it puts a button there and then it tells you how big it is. Da 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 da. But for some reason, that's just not making it through. So what it's getting is that it's 32 by 0. And 32, well, no, that's right. I always add 32 for the icon. So those are both nonsense. That's actually 0 by 0. We've already put the iframe in before we attempt to load a URL into it. So the iframe exists. It is conceivable that the iframe hasn't actually been laid out yet. And because I have this in the cache, it's loading instantaneously. Is there an easy way to test that theory? I actually do not want to do that. In fact, that could be what... No, that can't be what's killing it. Thinking. It's molto frustrating. How does calc work in CSS? Not using W3 schools, that's for sure. Okay, it's pretty simple. Maximum of, so this is the width. You know what? If I'm going to make the width just be 100%, then I'm just going to make the width be 100%. Done. But the height should be the maximum of... Why would I remove the thing that's already there? The maximum of this many pixels, or just some reasonable number of pixels, so that if it gets 0, it'll at least display something. This is just utterly the wrong solution. Everything about what I've just written makes me, like, gag. But it is good to be fixing, like, the stupid shit instead of the giant major problems. I mean, it's there, it's visible, it's utterly, utterly incorrect. But it's pretty easy to check that it's incorrect. So let me do something obviously absurd. Give it time to make sure that it like exists and has a size, because I'm going to need that size. And I can tell because this is cut off. So if this isn't cut off, then that means it did the right thing. It did the wrong thing. I don't understand how it can, like, take up that giant area and then think that the button is nothing. Oh, wait. Did I rebuild? Did I rebuild when I made that change? I genuinely don't remember if I rebuilt when I made this change. Fine. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to do this. That's obviously incorrect. Last thing we need is for this div to just out and out be visible, but... That suggests that the problem is actually coming from, like, the actual FS program itself can't figure it out. Am I seriously trying to get this information before I've even put it on the window? It obviously isn't going to be visible before I put it in the window. That's very stupid. That made no sense. That can't have possibly worked. I mean, it demonstrably didn't work, so I don't know what I'm talking about. How did that ever work? Answer, it did not. Okay, I'm going to have to reload this page because it is not currently, like, the way this is done won't force the cache. Aha! Okay, now, next question. Does that still work if I still make this hidden and actually rebuild it rather than just assuming that it'll rebuild on its own? All these jackasses who can't figure out how to run make, so they have to use Vite and have it all happen automatically. Yes, okay. Next question. Now I'm going to really put it to the test. If I set the height to nothing, so that it won't go blah, 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 as it sort of works itself out... What just happened? Yo! Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. Okay, the width doesn't actually need to be 100%. In fact, it needs to be at most 100%. We are doing iframe communication. Same origin, cross origin hell. Yes! It is a button! Look, behold! It is a button! It's a button that's not ridiculous! That's a bit unfortunate, but who uses light mode? Light mode is terrible. Last tidbit that needs fixing from this is that if we need transient activation, then I should go dot children. I specifically figured out that I definitely need children, not child nodes, and then I did the wrong thing. Not equal to my iframe, then dot remove child node. Okay, where's my missing something? Why is this unconvinced by? I have no idea. I'm gonna ignore it. Stop doing foreground. Did I get that backwards? Was it confusingly child nodes that does the right thing and not children? Yes, it was. Yes, and that is confusing. I should make it say loading again after getting rid of the iframe. There we go. Okay. 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 Yes. Yes. We have the power. You know what? I'm going to call it there. That's progress. That's great progress. I'm very happy with that. So we fixed the non-local forward same origin hell. Somehow I did it in a backwards compatible way. We've got the login button showing up. We can download video. We are so close to well, somewhere where I will then need to polish all of the user interface crap. Stream over.